In this session, I'm going to be covering the desktop wallpaper. Your desktop wallpaper is this area behind the icons. If you're following in the CLA manual, I'm going to be working through the worked example in the desktop section. In CLA, by clicking on Modules and Desktops, this will open the screen in which you manage your desktop wallpapers. At the top of the screen, you will see Manage Desktop Wallpapers, along with your current month. You would be setting up your sequence for your current month. You are able to move forward into the following months, provided your CLA license is valid. The content that you will see in this top grid is the content that has been set up in the content library already. If the content you are wanting to use does not appear here, please refer to the section on managing the content library first and import the required content into this grid. The content that is available for the month of October will be visible at the top. You would be able to click on the little view icon if you are wanting to preview that item. You would select the images that you are wanting to use as part of your desktop sequence by ticking on them in this top grid. Clicking on Include Selected Items at the middle of the page. This will move them from the top grid into the bottom sequence grid. To rearrange items in the bottom grid, you would select it and using the little arrows up or down, move it into its required location in the sequence. Your effective from and effective to dates would be your actual screen dates for this desktop. You would be able to double click onto your dates to modify them in order for sequencing to happen. So for instance, if this one needs to run from today until Monday next week, you would be able to set the start date and the end date for that image. It will start displaying today, it will stop displaying midnight on the 21st. If you wanted to future date an item, you are able to do so by selecting the date you wanted to start and the day that you wanted to end. This allows you to plan and set up an entire month's worth of content and promote it to live and not have to physically change your campaign on the day that it is due to change. Your time slot can be changed if you're wanting specific content to only be applicable during certain hours of the day. You would be able to double click onto your time slot and specify, for instance, this one, maybe you only want it to display between 10 and 4 in the afternoon. Outside of those hours, it must be skipped. If your targeting for an item needs to be adjusted, you are able to double click onto your users field. This will open your targeting screen and you are able to add users or remove users from the targeting as you need to. If you do need more information on this targeting screen, please refer to the video on targeting explained. To access your Who is Targeted report from this screen, you would double click onto this question mark. It will open your Who is Targeted report, which you are able to filter and export to Excel or CSV in order to escalate it to your IT departments. Soon as you are happy that this represents the sequence and your required target audiences per content type, you would click on Save Desktops and you are given the warning that it would only be visible to staging users until you promote it to live. If I click on Yes, it's going to save my sequence. So now we would be previewing this content to approve it. you'll see by clicking on the Live tab, your live users are not going to start seeing this sequence until in your Staging tab you promote it to live. We're first going to test that we are happy with these images and how they look on our wallpaper by clicking on Settings, Control Panel. Your control panel is going to open, right, and launch Desktop. You would need to minimize everything that's open so that you get back to your actual desktop to see the image apply. It will launch your first desktop on this area behind your icons so that you are able to preview and approve this content. There we go. So here you're able to see whether the design interferes with the icons at all by clicking on Launch Desktop again. It will flip to the next image in the sequence so that you don't have to wait for your desktop to apply to approve the content. There we go. If you're happy that that is what the content should look like, you promote the sequence to live. It will ask you for a password. You type in your password. It will tell you that you are replacing the current live data with staging data. You will now see in your live environment that your sequence is the same. Any change that you make to a desktop sequence, whether it be the actual image itself, whether it's your start dates, your end dates, your time slots, your targeting, if any changes need to be made to the sequence, you would make those changes in your Staging tab. So for instance, if I wanted Desktop Disney Award to stop displaying, I would select it, remove the selected item. I would save the sequence. Again, it says that the change is only visible to staging users. Your staging users will no longer be seeing Disney Awards, but if you have a look at your live environment, your live users are still displaying that desktop. You would need to, in your staging environment, take that change that you've just made and promote that to live. It's going to promote it to live. And if I now look at my live environment, it matches. You are able to target desktop wallpapers to different departments, different areas of the business. From your desk, you are able to control what people are seeing behind their icons in this area.